Are we live? We're live. Hey, what's up, everybody? So it's time for track feedback. It's Wednesday. I'm wearing fireproof jeans. So if the tracks get too hot, my legs will be okay. Seriously, a friend of mine was moving out, and she was working in the mining industry where she was required to have fireproof fabric, but they didn't make it for women. And fortunately, she has long legs, so she gave me these like fireproof jeans. Apparently, I can like jump into a volcano and be fine on my legs. As usual, what is Steve talking about? All right, let's start off real quick in Discord. There's some stuff for you to play with. In the house channel, OSP, Oliver put up some sounds he made with Operator. Turn my brain on. That you can grab from these little audio files. And let me remind you, you can upload audio in Discord. You can just like click the little plus sign and drop an audio file, which can be your track or a stem or a sound that you like or a drum loop that you made or anything. And I love sharing sounds. It's such a fun thing to do. A lot of times that will get me up off the couch. If I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of like not doing music. And then I see somebody put up a crazy ass sound that I just want to play with. That'll make me go in and turn on Ableton and start playing with it. So you can really spark inspiration for other people. Like Mindbender with the Dub Technique Pack rack. This is available for, I think, Live 10 and newer. And I haven't even opened it up yet, but I'm planning to play with this in the Production Tips Workshop on Friday and see what we can do with it. So I really encourage anybody to share the sounds you're working on, share your presets, you can export them. Maybe I'll talk about that on Friday. I love when people are sharing sounds. It turns into collaborations. We got a little bit of remixes today of some more collaborations. So, hey everybody, thanks for joining in. Let me close Discord. And what we're hearing right now is my track, The Generator. And we're not gonna spend a lot of time on mine. I just wanted to run through the tips that I heard so far and thank everybody. I'm not gonna thank you by name, but the first tip was this hi-hat sound is too resonant, too sharp, too loud. This was a track I banged out on Sunday. I wasn't even in my studio. I just did it on headphones. So it's a headphone mix, headphone creation. I had a nice tip about the chords having a weird amp envelope at the beginning that sounds like they're kind of late. So I'm gonna adjust the micro timing of the chords, which in fact was not a MIDI note problem. It wasn't from playing off quantized. It's from the wow kind of amp envelope in the sound. Then some other good notes that the kick drum was a little too loud compared to the bass line right here. That's the Mindbender dub snare we just heard with the spring reverb. So next updates I'm gonna do are fix the hi-hat, fix the chords a little bit, make the bass line a little louder, but to do that I'm gonna bring the kick drum down a bit and then open up the filter and automate some filter sweeps in the bass line. That's got a really resonant buzzy bass sound, which I didn't play with yet. And the other great tip from Ben Hunt, check this out. Let's go from the outro. You notice the track's only 4 minutes. It's gonna need another good minute and a half. So we're here. Figure this as not the ending, but a breakdown. Okay, cut the hi-hats. And then coming up at 340. Here's our morphing sound design swell that's gonna be like a riser into another drop rather than the ending. Need a drum break. Boom. And then at 340, drop a beat and go out for another 32 bars with just bass line and beats, dub some effects on top, and then put an ending after that, so it's a good 5.5 minutes. So thanks for the comments, everybody. I love making tracks and sharing the energy with all y'all. Speaking of energy, oh my God, look at all these people. Wednesdays are great. I don't know if Wednesdays are gonna be better than Saturdays. There is a character, never mind. I was gonna make up a crazy story about DJ Waters, but I think I'll just play the track. If I can play the track. Refresh, answer the call version 2. Really happy to hear about your stats on the Coca track. Unbelievable response to that. Here we go.
Choices are what define us. Find loyal companions and form a powerful army. The victory of the resurrection. Answer the call.
Yeah, Saturday everybody's wrecked. Right here is good. That's a little too too distorted, I think. It's too fluttery and not quite as crisp on the individual hits. Yeah. Right here, that's cool. Those little peeps, great. So those initial kicks, I think they are too distorted. I agree with your comment on that.
The victory of the resurrection. Answer the call.
That's good right there. That's too crowded, I almost said, too distorted.
In a world of endless raging war.
Interesting that it feels like it's a straight up in your face single blast of sound, but the stereo distribution is really wide.
Choices are what define us. The victory of the resurrection.
Every time that phase meter dips below 0, it could be phase problems. I'm gonna go in mono. Let me just roll back to that voice.
The victory of the resurrection. Answer the call.
Back into stereo. So it looks like the effects are really wide, but the heart of the track is in mono when it's working, so we don't really have to worry about that. Yeah, Ian, we're playing with ozone spectrum analyzer and image analyzer for just the phase correlation. So when I go like this, you can hear what's happening. I like how you can hear the chorus right now. Like the kicks are so raw, but then the voices are so like pleasant around it.
Living this way comes with persecution.
A couple of undertones in the messaging.
The victory of the resurrection.
Getting ready for Easter time, I guess. That one, 310, that kick is amazing. Got that high frequency, pew, pew, pew. Yeah, Stuart, the spectrum is like jacked all the way through and has that nice even slope.
Answer the call.
Little Braveheart vibes.
The victory of the resurrection.
I love it. It releases into the vocals and it's super present and everything was right there. Great,
Answer
man.
the call.
My phone's not even ringing. I'm trying to answer. Sorry. Mid-range peep kick at 310. Okay, I like it. I like the high frequency and the kicks. This part is really cool. Can you imagine an actual chorus of people singing on top of a DJ dropping those beats? That would be like out of control. Good, good, good. So my first impression was just the opening kick came in too crunchy, you know? That actual sound by itself can work in the track with some of the other ones, but when I heard the one at 310, I was like thinking that would be a better way to start it off. There. Just some of those other variations that are cleaner. I'm not sure if I can put it into words, but that super distorted one feels like it's so smashed that it loses focus as a kick, and it's like there's a blob of static without really like an impact on it. So I don't know if you want to play with that, or if you want to tell us how many layers of kicks. If it's more than 4, I'm going to start crying. And it's awesome. Ian Waters, you are definitely onto a recipe that's working for your style, and you're getting a great response for it. So from here on out, just tweak the recipe a little bit, crank out as many of these tracks as you can, and put them in a set. and then buy a 20 kilowatt sound system in a van and start driving around to play shows. Cool. Okay, Distant Disco. This is Tony Ryan. I think he's Vegas in the Discord group. And he just joined up last week. So, Tony, thanks for joining us. I'm not sure if you're watching right now. And let me know if you have any questions. We got our Discord chat hooked up. So I know it takes a minute to get used to channels and threads and everything in Discord. But now we're here. And let's see what's happening. And also, congratulations, Tony just got a new release coming out. So please tag us and let us know when that's available so we can help you promote the link and share it. EQ flat, stereo, and here we go. Yeah, Caesar, 9.5 thousand. Ian, you're welcome. Awesome. All right, perfect. Got a 4-chord pattern happening right from the start, and they're kind of interesting. That snare sounds kind of pingy. You could EQ the mids or possibly just swap the snare sample. That one sounds like a little bit of a metallic snare. But let's hear what else comes in. I like the swelling feel the synths are doing. There we go. The bass line is nice and clear. The kick drum could be, let's say, bigger. So just turn up the kick drum volume first. It looks like it's pretty defined at 50 something hertz. I just want a little more at the bottom. Mindbender, yeah, tune the snare or...
I like you.
Oh, I like you too. Hold on. There is some low end fluff down here. Whoa. Whoa.
I like
So
you.
that top beat loop had a bunch of low frequency energy. You could scoop out and clean up and definitely make more space for the kick. Vocals sounded good. Groovy, definitely. The lead, the chord progression, the hi-hats and stuff, and the beat, and the bass line, it's all working together. So you got 99% of a great track. Mix is gonna need a couple things. Oh my God, Caesar, don't use all the emojis, man. Leave some for other people. Great feel. That melody is like soft. Okay, I like this lead instrument. It goes perfect with the chord progression, the feeling. It's like a little bit sad, but still up, you know?
The whole point of being is there is no point to being.
Clap could be a touch brighter, yeah. Maybe around 235, cut the percussion.
You are in vain.
There we go. Possibly a crash kind of cymbal coming in 242, and that's nice. There's a new what's that? A keyboard sound? That is like a bright new sound adding to this whole section, which is great. Like that allows you to have the intro opening section a little thinner and emptier, and have something that builds energy in the middle of the track. So that's great. Not quite ready for another breakdown because we just had one and then we dropped in like a section of beats. So I would make that section around the 3. Make that section longer. Yeah, that little dropout breakdown thing, I don't think it's the right place in the track for that. It worked as a structure, but just not at that moment. I want to be here with the beat going on. There's a background percussion layer that's like, it has that kind of bubbling sound. That's good layering, rhythmically. Is that an arpeggiator synth? Panning? great. Okay, right here, the kick. Low end EQ, boost that up. Sounds like it's the right kick. It's EQ'd okay. So you could probably just turn it up a bit. Morton, good point. Okay, so comment about a bunch of top loops on top of each other, and they need a bit more definition to sit in the mix. Yeah, I heard that in a different way when there was a breakdown thing, like that top loop right there. You can hear like the whoop where the kick drum was. So when you have a bunch of top loops in a track, like more than two, or even if there's only two or three or four, what I would do with them is put them all in a stereo group and EQ them differently, starting with high pass filters to totally clean up the bottom up to like at least 500 or even 1,000 hertz. Then try to find pairs. So if you have like two top loops that both have a strong closed hi-hat, take them and pan them left and right. So it sort of feels like one, but they're opposite in the stereo field. And then if you have another two with the open hi-hat or with conga or some other percussion elements, take those two and pan them apart. So you have them EQ'd differently, where like the open hi-hats might be the highest frequency ones, the closed hi-hats and like, you know, hand percussion or whatever might be more like a mid-range tone. So you have like frequency slices with like a kind of a emphasis of each loop in each frequency band, and then you pan them left and right. And that way you could have like spatially, you could have four sections of like high frequency left, high right, mid right. And then your loops can feel separated and not be all on top of each other, crowding up the mix. And you can even do more fun stuff like put a gate on your top loop. That's a great thing to do. A lot of top loops have a reverb in them. So if you put a gate in there and tweak it so that there's like a little tiny bit of silence in between each hit, it totally makes it feel like more energetic and more kind of percussive and aggressive. And it cleans up space so you can add your own reverb later on all of them together and avoid that cluttered kind of mushy whooshy sound. And kind of pick out each part of the top loop. Like maybe like when you use a gate, it'd be like you're only hearing the hi-hats and less of the other little stuff underneath. Those are a couple of tips off the top of my head on top loops. And then EQ work on the top loops to make them sound a bit different. Yeah, and pan them different. Oh, you just said that. I didn't even read your comment. I was just telepathically channeling Mindbender's answer. But basically, this track feels really good. The first thing I noticed was that we had a chord progression that felt nice. 4 chords, and the bass line harmonized them, and it was great. Right away from the first beginning, I knew, okay, we're going to be sitting in a cool track with a nice vibe. I especially like the lead melody instrument. Sounds a little bit like P-Funk or something, almost. And a criticism I have, constructive criticism. Let's count. You are in vain. 2. 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 bars is totally not long enough for a great drop. We just had a good intro, good build up. This little empty section was cool. A nice dramatic moment with the vocal. After that happens, it's got to be at least 16 bars and maybe 24 before you go into another breakdown section, because people are going to be amped up, and you got to think like they're going to be loving it, they're feeling it, they want the kick drum that's happening. Give them at least 16 bars of a solid thing, then maybe 8 bars leading towards the breakdown, and then get to this part where the kick drops out. Okay, let's keep moving. Tony, great track. Please give us an update and bring it back on Saturday and let us know what you're doing with it. Now, for the Shep. When using more than one top loop, take away some of the highs. It all adds up and gets super bright. Yeah, stacking high frequency sounds. Again, that's that thing about EQing. If you EQ in solo, any individual sound, you can make it sound pretty good. But you take 4 sounds that are all good by themselves and stack them up together, it's like all of a sudden too much. It's like if you're cooking and you put salt, and you're making soup, right? You put salt on the potatoes and put them in the soup, and you get salt on the, sausage, and you put it in the soup, and then all of a sudden it's like too salty because you can't put salt on the individual things and put it into the soup and press play all at the same time. Shepherds. Give me that kick. Yeah. This one kind of feels like the DJ Waters opening, a little too crunchy on the kick and not enough like Let's see where it goes. I like the high frequency sound. Yeah, that's cool too. I'm gonna go up with the low EQ a little bit. Yeah, Alex, I agree. The saturation is a bit much, but like the rumble part of the saturation is cool. That sweeping thing is cool. That's good. Nice transition. Yes, Ian, you could be right. Feels like the master level dropped a lot in this part. Let's see where it comes back. It's got a big, deep bottom. For a person in headphones, maybe I shouldn't be commenting quite so much on kick drum power and versus saturation, because you really got to feel this with a big sub in a big room, or a treated room, you know, with the sub to feel what the bottom is doing. Okay, Caesar, the last sound like Blade. Let me go back. Do you mean this one? I wanted to see the spectrum on that. Let me roll back. I want to get you a frequency, Shepherds. So 2.3 and 1.15. 2.3 kilohertz, and then half of that, 1.15. Maybe notch those out, and that's your Blade sound. I like that little bow bow. That one too. Oh, the synth? Okay, I'm not sure what sound you're talking about. Who's listening on big speakers right now? Can you tell me a little bit about the kick drum and the bottom on actual speakers? Because I'm in the cans. Mr. Melvis, Sinister Dialogue. Maybe a little louder with the hi-hat. Oh, good fade down. This part's cool too. I like the scratch on top. Cool, and an ending. Yeah, I would like to hear this on a bigger system. So, Shepherds. Oh, Mind Better, good. Thank you. The sub's all good. What I really like is the way the transitions are very smooth. It's kind of constantly changing and oozing. Sounds are ramping in and out. It's a very smooth, like, changing thing. This part, I can still hear the kick, but it feels like the volume of the whole track is getting quieter, which I didn't quite understand. And then it comes back in. And then the big bottom comes back in. So I'm not sure if you were fading that down with all the layers or on purpose or something, but when I hear the kick drum and the volume of the whole track is decreasing, it's like, oh, is this an ending or what's happening? So let me know what the plan was with that. Otherwise, cool track, good style. A couple of EQ notes you saw from people. Volume automation at the break, maybe, yeah. And it's perfectly in the Shepherd's style. So let's move on. Matt Schultz is this track I think we heard last week, right? I don't think this is an update. Yeah, Matt's not here. Oh, the fade down was intentional. Okay, good. It didn't work for me personally. That's what you know what I would do with that is I would leave it full volume, not faded down. And when you're playing a live set, have that be the track where you're like, hey, I'm going to trick people, bring it down a little bit, and then turn the bass EQ. Who did that? Joey Beltram, I think. There were these mix sets where he would do that, where he would like, in a DJ set, take like a normal house record, not even one of his records, slowly bring, like with the, let's say you have the bass EQ straight up, he would slowly bring the volume down, and then when it was lower, turn the bass EQ up and throw the fader back to the top, and it would kick back in like, doof, like even harder. So that is a great effect to do with the audience, but leave yourself space in the track to do that live, because when it's built into the track, you know, other people might be like, not sure why it's there. And then for you, that takes away something you can do as an active DJ to have fun. So if you leave it and you kind of remember you're going to do that technique, then you'll have a track where you can pull it down, boost stuff, jack it back up, and have it be like more of a performance effect. I mean, that's my opinion on the strategy of it, but if you want to do it with a fade down and it works for what you're doing, of course, follow what works. Ghost Ship, V2, Ben Hunt, EQ, flat, 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 stereo, 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 boop. Checking Discord for the updates. I want to see what Ben wrote. I like the bass filter. That's a good move. So this is like the ear candy update. Yeah, that bass filter moving around to brighten it up towards the end of a phrase and then mute the filter back down. Good, good, good. The bass has a cool sound. It's kind of knocking, like. That bass is good tone. New kick drum, okay. I like that snare drop. Snare is good volume, good sound. Totally in the groove. Nice little crash right there. That was cool. What was that little short note? 242, did you shorten the bass note duration or something? That was perfect, right at a transition to make that little bass note choppy sound. That was super cool. Claps, claps. It's nice when you can go in and spend time on details and automation and little things. And add the little flavor in the track. I just talked over the transition. Yeah, the vocal right there. Was it last time the vocal was only at the end? It sounded really good right there. Totally. Work that bass line. Yeah, back in it. Great, man. Just for the interest of time, I want to skip. Yeah, the release thing on the bass was a huge improvement. And then this snare drum break is new. Was that the one last week? It was just like tap, tap, tap. And now it's like more of a groove. Those are great updates. I especially like that short bass line. So note duration plus tweaking the filter just totally makes the bass line, instead of just a plain thing that's happening, it becomes like a character in the song. Nice bumpy mix out. Ian, a blast from the past from our first ever uploads on Facebook. That sound. Can you record some of those little bleeps and just upload them in Discord as individual sound effects stingers? Especially this one. And that one. You know what I would do with that is like pitch it down an octave and play it backwards or something. And a nice sweep up pitch at the end. Great, excellent updates, man. It really makes a big difference. So nice one. I think that's ready. I don't know if anybody had any significant comments of what to change, but that sounded really good. Okay, Mindbender, your turn for a remix of Late Bloomer. Is that right? Just for fun. How do I get those both? I'd rather see the spectrum. Kind of has like a sitar type of feel. That kind of thing. Watch out, Danats coming with the sub bass chops. Upbeat sub bass beats. I think that's the Danats vibe. Ben, you're welcome always. Thanks for being here. Was this the sub Fatty Martin track? Oh, the timing on that lead compared to the beat is good. fuzzy and scratchy on top at the same time as the middle being mellow. Sub 37, almost every sound, all right. Yeah. Totally draws you in. I'm just like, maybe a little louder with that snare. The snare has a nice papery texture. The lead is kind of loud, so maybe the snare could be a little bit louder. Just doing some high shelf EQ here. That does tend to happen on a lot of Mindbender tracks where the synths are just amazing and the beats are kind of tucked underneath. But I like the snares nice and crisp. Wait for it. Yeah. This beat. Yeah. It's like the double damage from like synth layers and percussion breakbeats, like coming to get you. Then there's an inner melody. Right here. This is crazy. The track has like a clear bass line, this inner melody, and the upper lead all interlocking at different times. So for like song structure, you basically play with how those different layers come to the front and come to the back at different moments, and then that's the track. Going strong to the outro. Fading in and out, yeah. Sheriff Waters reporting in on the law of the bass. And now we have the long sweeping drone again, so the ending is kind of like the beginning. Everybody, if you want a basic formula for making tracks, have the intro and the ending be the same, with some kind of like sound that you only hear at those parts. And then in the middle, just fade in your different layers. Bring one to the front, leave it there, 16 bars, fade it in, fade it out, take another one, bring it up to the front and back. That's if you just have a loop and you don't know what to do with it. Try breaking it up into intro, playing with different layers, and ending. And just try to have one layer at the front focus at each moment. That solves the problem of a crowded mix or like too much going on or layers masking each other or competing sounds and competing frequencies. If you have a lot of really cool sounds, each one is awesome, just put them in at different times. 16 bars of one awesome layer, 16 bars of another awesome layer, and you don't have to have all the layers in all at the same time when you have a loop made of quality sounds. Alex B. Oh no, confusing my ears. The synth is confusing Alex's ears. That can happen. Yeah, I kind of was sort of talking about, that's a feeling I recognize. I'm not sure if you're talking about the one synth by itself. Are you talking about the last synth? This one? This synth feels to me like it has a bottom and a top, and the mid-range is scooped out, which can make it sort of feel like that, like you're missing the middle. No, right before that. That one? Or this one? Is it that the confusing one? Wow, wow, wow. That feels like a live. And you know what? That one needs some reverb. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Mix sounds a little bit dry. I know some of your tracks have a lot more reverb and delay going on with the synths and stuff. Wow, wow, wow. So that sounds like it's being tweaked by hand. And Alex commented on the LFO speed. So maybe, I don't know, maybe you could do a little bit something different with that sound. Or just put it into a ton of reverb and delay for me. Cool. So Mindbender, you know what to do. I'm really glad you're bringing us so many tracks all the time. And it's a challenge to find stuff to even tell you to improve because they're always coming in so good from the beginning. But that's some good feedback. So let's keep moving on. Keep moving on. Martin Brorin. Coming back to the tech world. EQ flat. Let's see what we got. Oh, yeah. Shepherd's territory. Here we go. Hoping those hi-hats come up louder. Sounds like they're changing. And there's some interesting mid-range. This track, I'm gonna take the low end down a little bit and turn up the volume. There's a low shelf EQ cut. Now let's make the whole thing louder. Because the mid-range is interesting, and I also wanted more hi-hats. So the solution for me is not to boost the mids or the highs unnaturally, but just take the lows down a little bit, turn up everything. So Martin, do some reference mixes compared to other tracks, maybe your headphones or your monitors or your room. You might not be hearing the low end exactly accurately. I would take the low kick rumble just down a little bit in the mix, get everything else up a bit. Yeah, this is building up nice. Caesar, the snare layer, yeah, I hear that like da 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 da. So there is a snap on the same beat as the kick. That one. This part is sexy. Put your pants on. That's me on the mid-range EQ. I think it needs a little bit of a high-mid cut. Up around 4,000, 3,000, it gets a little bit sharp. So I took that down just a little bit. And I'm putting up the high shelf EQ for a little more of the hi-hats. Okay, Ian, I just saw your comment. Let me pause here. So, I was just talking about the mid-range on the sweeping sounds and how like 3,000, 5,000 range was too bright. I saw Ian said the high end is way too high for my ears. I want to point out that for me, the high end is this sweeping psh that's like super up in the top. And the part that's bothersome is here. That part feels like too much high frequency, but it's actually like a bit lower in the mids. And then the highs that are in the highs for me. Let's play the sweep at the end of the transition back into the drop and look at the spectrum going up the super high frequencies. Watch this part above 3,000. See that stuff? The stuff up there above 8,000 or 9,000, it doesn't really hurt me. It just feels like a hiss. It's the stuff that's lower than that from 7,000 down where you feel it. You're like, ooh, I gotta turn that down. That's my perception. Tribal drums and the sun is rising. All right. Yeah, good layering. Nice sub rhythm. A lot of good synth layers. I want to make a sound design idea. This is just a creative idea from what I'm hearing, so it's not like a mistake to fix or anything. At that gap, I feel like it would be super cool if the bass line did a pitch down that went boom to lead into that next beat drop. Let's hear this and imagine if that might work. At 421, I think that would be cool. It would like dive bomb down and go back into the kick. Oh, Shepherds, that's a good comment. It sounds like a one-shot kick getting interrupted by the next one. So the kick drum tail is too long to be played 4 times in a row. That could be the sampler settings to have it be cutting off the tails, or that's a really good comment because it's important for the low end and the kick to be complete. This high frequency shit is cool. Release the killer bees. Great stereo, little delay happening. Again, dive bomb. Right now, I really think that little hi-hat sound could be a little bit louder. All right, let's skip forward a bit. Ride cymbal. Oh, the cymbal pitched down. Good. Bars. Tweaking some filters. That was a cool sound, but again, those high mids are a little bit too much. I like the long feedback on that delay. Yeah, this just needs a couple of tweaks and it's done. The form and the structure and everything are cool. The sound layering, the sounds are cool. A couple of mixed tweaks that you could take this and do a mastering job to correct the levels we were pointing out, but it'd be better to go to your multi-track mix and get the levels a bit more balanced and then have it mastered, and it would just be polished and glossy and like on the bottom. Oh, the ending. Oh shit, a bass phaser. Get you with the phaser bass. Cool, fun track. Pretty good. Couple of pretty obvious mix tweaks, I think. I mean, they're simple to do. And the only thing you have to work out, Martin, is reference mixes, understanding what you're hearing in your room versus what we're hearing on our rooms, and get things working together. Really nice work. All right, we did a Mindbender track already. I want to make sure we get tracks from people who are here in existence in a real dimension. What the fuck am I talking about? So we'll come. That's an update version, Martin. We'll come back to. Let's do. So Alex, these are both updates, right? So let's do a quick view of these updates. And if you could remind me what we're listening for since last time, because I didn't check exactly what you changed. Let's see if I can. I like that one drum hit. Wow. Okay, drums needed to be more present. Was this a pre-master last time? It was super quiet. We had to turn it up, so it sounds like you got it a bit louder. Yeah. Okay, now my EQ is flat. Sorry, I had the EQ from the last track. The snare is like a good snick. Okay, let's skip through. I'm feeling that the synth group in the mid-range could use some compression as a stereo group, because specifically those, they really pop out loud. The bass line is like a steady level, and the background pad. So there's like a background layer that's smooth, and the leads are like really like have a lot of dynamics popping in and out. That's a good problem to have, because that means you have a lot of space to group your instruments, do some subtle compression first, and then in mastering you can do another bit of multi-band compression. Shepard's the knock on the kick doesn't work. Let's see if we can see the kick solo. Is there a kick by itself? That sounds like it might be one layer, and then there's another kick layer. This one has a little kind of sound. This top loop has a kick function. Oh, that's filtered there. Okay, let me open the filter. So go exploring from 200 up to 500 hertz with a notch, and dip out some of the kick and see if you can just get rid of that like kind of sound. Yeah, 500, 600 hertz for kick drums and floor toms. Like 600 hertz, you can dump out like minus 15 dB, and it just sounds better and better and better. So that would probably help. I know I'm totally like skipping all over the place. I hate to cut tracks short, so you're gonna have to buy it when it comes out. I like the keyboard work a lot. Sounds like somebody playing with two hands even, which we don't hear. Emotionally, it's all there. That pattern, the chord progression. That riser could be a little louder. that high pitch riser could be a little louder. And there comes the beat, yeah. And you know, those low bass notes are a bit louder than the kick drum too. So if you EQ some of the 500 down and the kick, maybe like just raise the kick drum volume relative to the sub bass line. So when it's coming in, it's really hitting. That's part of the problem, is that bass line comes in like, and then the kick is like pop, pop, pop. So we want more of like a boom. He said Woody. Yes, he did. Let's check the ending. I like the harmonic instrument layers. The pad, the vocal thing, the piano, the other electric keyboard. That thing. And the panning on the keyboards, yeah. Yes, possibly more sidechain, yeah, but bring up the kick drum volume a little bit, and then a little more sidechain. Oh, that's cool. What was that? What did that look like? Right there. I get fascinated with sonic details, and we're going to check for some updates on Two Souls. EQ flat this time, Steve. Whoa, that sounds... So looking at your kick drum shape overall, the highest point of that kick drum is 250. I want to be seeing the highest point at 70 hertz or something like that. So again, on this kick drum, scoop out those low mids, bump up the bottom. Let's hear what else happens in the track. This is an interesting intro. It might be too early for the kick drum to be here at all. Would not be fun to beat match this track with these synths, but I like the synths that they're doing. Yeah.
Do you think it'd be alright if I could just stay here tonight? I feel
Good
so
vocal.
safe here in your arms. Don't let go. My heart's racing. My hands
It's
are
filtered. That's a little
shaking.
confusing. It's not clear that this is
Don't let go.
what that we're waiting for the kick, the main kick. Like,
Don't let go.
there it is. All right. Up until a minute 35, I think the kick can be just totally not in the track because it takes away from the drop here. Now it's sitting nice.
Don't let go.
Oh, Kelly on the vocals. I like that mid-range right here. So Shepherds, yeah, the full kick drum either have the whole volume unfiltered kick at the beginning or remove the kick until the full version comes in, because the filtered version just doesn't. It's deceptive. And now the sub is coming in, all right? Oh, and you had that one bass note at the end of the payment. okay, that opening sound, I just recognized it with the piano here. It came in once. It might be okay if it comes in and stays for a bit, but when it just first appeared, I thought the piano was broken or something. So having that one little sound only once at that moment surprised me, and that was over there. And it works in this section. I would use it more. Just have it come in and stay as a loop and maybe filter it. That was a cool filter sweep. Two layers of different pianos, yeah. Open hi-hat is a little bit loud compared to the snare. Come down just a little bit. Cool. So we basically heard all the layers that are going to be in. You hate this hi-hat. Well, you might want to change your hi-hat in that case. All right, it's getting there. It's getting there. Slight dip in the low. Yeah, the reverse piano. Yeah. You're changing it. Cool. All right, bring that back and let us know what is updated. It's got the bones of a good track, a couple of mixed notes, and maybe still some sound design updates to remove the part that you hate. Let's leave Bouncing Betty and your other one for next week. Who is he? Is Oliver here today? We got Nick Lab. Let's do DJ Waters. I hate all hats and crashes. I try not to use them. Oh,
Millions of Americans are affected by high-interest credit cards.
No. Well, that might be true. Synopsis, please. I cannot remember every single detail I just mentioned, but it's in the comments, and a lot of people were doing other comments that we said. So my first one is in the middle part where you have that opening sound that goes. When that comes in the breakdown, bring it in and leave it in and filter it a bit to go along with the pianos so it doesn't just happen once randomly and then disappear. That I noticed as something that sounded like an actual mistake. The other things were about subtle volume changes and stuff. I would remove the kick drum from the opening of the track and not have it drop until like a minute 35. Or if you want to have it start from the very beginning, leave it full power from the very beginning so it's in the whole time. Nick, every time you get the ad, dude, I don't know. Hit the dismiss button. Unmute. And bring it back. All right. Yeah, sorry about that. I did not do that on purpose. So this is Jammo. What you got to do is join the track feedback crew, and I'll tell you how to do that in a little bit. So Nick Lavely coming into the house world. Thank you, DJ Waters. What was that low frequency sound right there? 49, that little that had some low rumble. It sounded weird. I hear a sub already in there that I like. That's deep. Whoa. Hey, how's Pivclit doing? Anybody talk to him today? I could use a little more volume on that snare, but let's wait for a main section to decide. The sub is doing cool stuff. Getting some squelch squelchy glitches there. Good sound design. It sounds like bass house, you know, like the dubstep sound packs on house beats. There we go, proper. I like the side chaining on the sub bass now. I can really feel the kick and the sub's like, whoop. Now the clap kind of snare sounds good. I'm feeling that low end. Chords. I'm gonna boost the mid range and sweep around just to hear. Okay, these sounds could be a little louder. You could boost the mix like 1000, 1500, but it'd be better to take those instruments. Nick Lab got the pulse. Breaking open the big room sound. Turn this up. Don't let your synths take over your hi-hats. There we go. I like the synth stack a lot. It got a bunch louder and the drum layers are a little subdued. The snare is okay, but the hi-hats are a little bit down relative to the snare. So that bright, crispy high end, I would like a little bit. Jammo, sounds so clean, sounds so loud. How do you make it? Put everything in its own space in the frequency range of the mix and you can get that sound. Easier said than done. What was that transition? Was that a bu-bu-bu-bu? Was there a kick drum pulse in there? Let's just see that. Yeah, I felt that more than heard it, but that was solid. Now we're in the groove at the ending. See, now when that synth stack is gone, the beats sound present and it's okay. So when that big synth stack builds up, maybe make the beats louder or just do some little bit control on the synth layers so they're not overpowering bits. Oh, that sounded like a wave breaking. That sweep. Today is ear candy day, apparently. Jammo, yes, it's an EQ thing. It's about cutting out sounds. Like any different sound in your mix is going to speak in one frequency range. So you want to have that range noticeable and then the other parts of it reduced a bit. Look at that kick. What was that? 610, you dropped your cowbell. Nice. Great track, man. Great track. Only minor changes, and that's going to be done. What is happening? I don't know what that was. All right, let's keep it moving. So the morning after the night before. This is an update, right? Let's check out what we got. 1:15 and cool. Damn. EQs are flat. You're welcome, Nick. You're welcome. Nice and bright. Hi-hat stereo motion is cool. With a bit less on the top end. Well, let me check my master broadcast. That's peaking on my send here. Okay. Yeah, this version sounds done. Gemmo, no, you have to join the track feedback crew to post your tracks in Discord. There's the Patreon link where you can sign up, and I didn't even update that yet to raise the price, so you can still get in for $15 a month. I gotta do that today. Nice. Yeah, Martin, I think this is done. I'm going to skip through because it's 8 minutes. Rolling up. Thanks, guys, for the comments. Everybody finish your drink before the drop. Those vocals are kind of subliminal, buried in there. Yeah, that was a great build-up transition. Yes, right here. Alright, I hate stopping tracks to skip forwards. But this one's good enough to put out. It's done. It's buttery and burnt at the same time. Yes. Totally in the low. So Bouncing Betty, we're going to save. Let's fade into Donats. That didn't fade. Morton, nice job. Beautiful, beautiful. So Adam Hatfield has a very unique style that sounds like this. And bump, boom, bump, bump, boom, bump, boom, bump, bump, boom. Usually with a sub bass on the upbeat coming from samples. Let me raise the level on this. Sounds like a pre-master. And it's a remix of a totally ambient drone type track, so it's interesting. Crushing it. The last track we just heard, 9 in the morning after, the night before. Oh, you're gonna play with another kick. Okay, that last one worked perfectly. I didn't hear anything wrong with the kick, but do what you want to do, and we'll check it out. Look at that kick notch. What's gonna happen at 72 hertz? I see a little dip popping up, a D popping up at 140, so maybe there's going to be a sub bass note at frequency 72 at the lower D. Nice mix so far. I like how the synth is going. Like the fuzziness comes and goes. There's our bass chops. Good structure, totally in the flow. Yeah, this is cool. It's totally playable in a Donat set, but it's faithful to the vibe of the original with sort of a steady drone element to it. I mean, it's obviously not an ambient track, but it has that steadiness. Like that. Yeah, the acid sounds very clean. Cymbal might be a tiny bit loud, but it's not a problem. Right here. Donat's giving you what you need. Did you hear that subtle transition where the bass did a little bit of a delay before the crash? That was good. DJ Waters sounds ambient to me. I'm gonna mail you a box of hi-hats. Putting that synth into the delay is really good right here. Somebody made a comment about using a vocal as like a lead element or something. This part feels like it could use a little bit of a new element coming in. Maybe it's gonna happen right here. Yeah. That was a good swell, and now it's in a good space. Okay, so for just a little bit before that section changed, like we were deep in the groove, and then I wanted like a little bit more of a variation or a lead melody sound or something. Oh, cymbals are heavy. I'm not mailing anybody's cymbals. Those things. I got a story about riding a bike with cymbals. It's not good. Cool. So the song structure with the way the beats and the breaks are laid out is really good. My biggest comment is like right around here I made this note that like you're giving us what we need, just digging in the rhythm, totally cool. But then a couple bars later, it stays right there and we don't have like a change happening. So if you could do something like around this area, every 8 bars, like cut a hi-hat, add a hi-hat, maybe add a little rhythmic bleep in the upper frequencies, or just something to do a little more of the ear candy theme of the day, it would help. Because now we get the delay on the bass line, and that's super good for the energy level. But there's a while where the percussion is not changing. I guess that's what I would like to hear. For some variation. Denats, this slaps in every way. Oh, Alex, you're in Chicago? Damn, that's a good comment if you're in Chicago and you're liking this kind of beat. That's good. All right, let's check it out. And I noticed, Adam, I noticed you've been using delay a lot more to very good effect. So that's great. There we go. You thought it was over? Nope. Come back for your slapping. Cutting the release time on the notes again. Always effective. Great way to put into the ending. Take the synth, put it up into a long delay, filter the delay, let it echo over the beat. That's good shit. Nice. Super cool. So Adam, almost done. Midsection, just do a little bit of variation with the percussion layers. Mute some, bring some back in. And that's cool. That might make it on the remix album. Had Gene Ferris written all over it, dropping the compliments. All right, Oliver, I don't think this is an update. I just want to refresh what it is, so if we hear it again on Saturday. Oh yeah, the track that was made all with Operator. And Matt Schultz is freaking out about that sound. So it's like deep. Deep vibe with almost a dub techno soundscape. That's cool. Hopefully we'll hear a little bit more of that on Saturday. 2 more left. Hollow Skin, another new person popping up. And make sure you put your new tracks in a new thread. So what you do is go to the genre, the category in Discord, drop your link under the main category, and then right-click on it and set Create New Thread. Because when you get the comments, you want to make sure you understand these comments are for that track. But if you have like a thread open and you put a new link for a different song, the next comments, it's not clear if those are for the previous song or the new one. So let's keep our tracks in different threads. Send me a message if you need clarification on that. Let's see what we got. EQ flat, stereo. Coming in deep on the bottom. Shepherds, all right, get out of here. Come back on Saturday. Oh, only with the analog instrument. Cool, if you can export some instrument racks in the preset section, that would be great. ADG files or ADV files are like 10 KB. I would love to have some of those racks. Matthew, you're here. Good. Yeah, let me know if that's confusing. Working with threads, it just simplifies everything. You're not in trouble, don't worry. Is that like a flanger on those beats? Unique drum sound. It's like almost like a resonator. Shepherds has to go tend to his flock. Going up. Okay, with the build-up that was that cool, I want more kick drum. I'm gonna give it some low end, hang on. Like that, right? Let's just go through that build-up again and get to that kick. Yeah, bring up that kick drum volume a bit. Good synth sounds. I often find myself asking for a little more of the hi-hat thing, so I think I'm reacting to SoundCloud having a little bit of a top end removed from the streaming thing. Good bass line. Doo-doo, doo-doo. Kind of a crunchy riser sound. Yeah, glitch. Good, good. Hang on. Okay, at 253, 2 snare drums. Cut the snare drum on those 2 hits where there's a little mini gap. Count it again. To emphasize the emptiness before the next beat. Right here. 253 and 254, just cut those 2 little snare drums so it's like a little bit of an emptier section to give a mini break before the beat again. I hear some background stuff panning around. That's great. Coming up on a breakdown. Nice downward descending pitch to go into the breakdown. Let me just hear that snare drum roll again. That snare drum rush could be a little louder. The riser was going like in a downward pitch thing. The snare drum rush could be just a little louder or brighter coming up. Oh, Alex, good, thanks. Kick is great with the low shelf. Bringing in the glitches. Nice. Now we're coming with the snare drum rolls. Ian, 8:43, 8 minutes 43. Today is definitely the ear candy is the theme of the day. Good, I was feeling like we needed a little high melody kind of sound to fill up something in the high frequencies. Chirp, chirp. let's compare the ending to the beginning. Just curious about how many layers and textures are happening. So this is like thick part of the beginning. Kick drum, beat, bass line, synths and echoes. Now we're at the ending. Kick drum, bass line. I don't think you need. Did the snare drum reverb change? All of a sudden, that sounds like way too much reverb on the drums. Did that change, or has it always been like that? Okay. Here, the snare is nice and clean. Maybe a little too dry. When did we get all that drum reverb? At 520, did all the drum reverb come in? I didn't notice it with all these synths. I don't think you need kick drum reverb. Yeah. Okay, so at 649, there's the reverb is noticeable, which means it's too much. What I like to do for my reverb trick is pull this down. I bring up the reverb on a return track and I mute it. So after I have the reverb set and I pick out which kind, I'll just listen and mute the reverb. And when you mute, it should hear like there's a hole in the track and something's missing. But when you put the reverb back in, it shouldn't feel like a noticeably big, loud thing. It should feel like the reverb is at a level where the drums sound natural. You don't really notice it by itself until you press mute. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, the reverb's gone. I need that. But right here, the reverb is like washing out on top of the synths and kind of like crowding it a bit. Accidental automation. Definitely could be an accidental. It's like when you get like you're automating something and there's that one breakpoint that puts it up to like full level and you got to go back and grab that. Caesar, yeah, I was thinking before. It sounds kind of new wave. It's got that busy bass line and beat thing. And then towards the end, do a filter on the bass line to go cut off the high end slowly or something. And a clean ending. Cool. Okay, so let's say that drum reverb was not on purpose, which is good because that was just, it was just noticeably too much. The rest of the track sounds cool. I forget which notes I made in the beginning, which means my brain wants food. Sorry, my short-term memory is like derp. Bring that back on Saturday and let's hear that again. What was in the middle there? Oh, the snare drum rush thing. Yeah, more volume on the snare drum buildup. I remember we said that. And I hope you were taking notes on the comments because I can't remember every comment I said. Let's finish it up with Phil Smith, who's been a longtime moderator in the Facebook group. Thank you for that. Coming with some, usually his electronic style. Well, let me just play it. So EQ flat, and let's hear what we got. That's me raising the broadcast level. Yeah, Matthew, thanks. Good. Yeah, make an update, bring it back on Saturday, and let's see. like that little snare delay. It's like a rattle. This almost feels like something from like an older Radiohead album. Nice mix on the drums. So the dry drums fade out and left only the drum reverb. You hear that? This is a great breakdown. Some chords growing. That reverb is getting bigger and turning into a build-up. What the hell? Did you hear that? And now the drums are nice and bright, right? Hold on a second. That was crazy. During that build-up, so to enter into the build-up, the drums faded down. The reverb was still there. And I thought, oh, that's weird. We still hear the drum reverb. Then the drum reverb got louder and something else happened to it. And then finally, as the build-up peaked, the dry drums came back up and got like right in your face. I want to hear that again. That was really interesting. So now we're hearing only the drum reverb. What is it doing? It's getting louder. That was a really cool change, I guess. Really nice mix. The beats are all together and smooth. The synths are in the middle. It's got a cool, like, kind of a chord progression. It's a nice harmonic world. The sub bass is doing its own thing. It's nice and clean. Yeah, Pill, this sounds great. Not doing a lot of tracks, but he's coming with the quality. I think this one is done. This sounds, I don't hear anything I need to change. What do you guys think? Chords at the end, the higher ones, the voicing, really nice. What a great way to end track feedback today. This one's ready for mastering. I would totally play a copy of this. You dropped us off a cliff. Okay, we need another 45 seconds of this synth after the beats end right here. All those upper mid-range synths, please put another 16 bars of that. Almost all the synths right here. Remove the sub, bass, and the beats, and just give us another whole, like, almost a minute. That rhythm, that frequency range, those voicings, all this stuff, I just want to really, really hear that continue longer because this track should be 5 minutes. Okay, so please make the track a little bit longer. Give us a nice long ride at the ending to go with those synths. That would work a lot. Stuart, percussion is really crisp. I totally agree. At the beginning, I was wondering, I was not sure where we're going to go with the beats. Then that sub came in nice and clean, but here, when that dropped, I was like, yeah, right there. so upfront and crisp. And I am going to personally try this reverb technique because this is so amazing, the way the drums fade in out of the reverb right here. Super gymnasium reverb sound. Bam. Great. Just put an ending on it, make a longer ending, and keep it going. Alex, the last track. You want me to do Bouncing Betty? I think we're on a 45-second delay. It's only 1:45. Let's see what we got. If you want to hear it, I'll review it, and then we'll have more time on Saturday. And I don't remember what the updates were on this one. So a little more LFO. What? Quick re-listen, change the breakdown, all right? Raise the drums. Oh, sorry, my broadcast level's clipping. There we go. Yeah, drums sound like it's working. So let's let it go from here and go into the breakdown. Mix sounds good at this part. Okay, into the breakdown. Yeah, the snares are good. And after hearing that last track, I'm thinking all about reverb and effects. So this sounds a little dry. What if you played with reverb and had a snare reverb that comes in as this roll is happening, where the snare reverb also gets louder and washier? And then at the drop, you can have only the reverb continue, kind of fade down. And that vocal thing, wow, that was cool. Yeah, it feels like it's a little dry in the build-up. I mean, I'm totally influenced by what we heard before it, but just for ideas of the sound design. So those little bleeps are cool. And that hi-hat has a little bit of a whistling sound. It's like pew, pew, pew. I would maybe look for something to EQ from like 2,000 hertz up for that kind of whistly part of the hi-hat, so it's not going to get too loud on a, if you're up near the speakers in a big system. Oliver's here. Hey, I didn't know you were with us today. I didn't play your track because it didn't seem the operator song. I don't think there was an update on it, but let me know. Oh, reverb and maybe a 1-bar pause for that false drop. Possibly, yeah. Let's see, what would that be like with the snare drum rush? Try to make a false drop with a pause. 1, 2, 3, rah, boom. That didn't feel right, but I think that could be if you had the wah and then wait, right? Yeah, that could be cool. Then we're back in. The beat's coming in. Nothing new. Okay. Yeah, I know the feeling. I got super busy this week and didn't update a bunch of stuff I wanted to do. Yeah, in this style, Alex, yeah. A little tricky, like 1-bar gap or something. It does get a lot of, like, you catch people unexpected. It'd be fun. Ear candy is the theme of the day. This one, bam, bam, bam. That little one. I would like those even just a little bit louder because they're fun. It's like nice and minimal and deep, and then has interesting stuff coming through on top. Let it roll out to the ending. That bass sounds so good. Boom. It's like a soothing bass. That stuff at the ending was interesting. Can we have... What's that little mechanical thing at the very end? I'm gonna turn it up. Right here? Can you take that and put it here? I'm not sure if it's there or not, but whatever that loop is at the end, put it in here with the snare drum and make it get louder and louder, like crazy loud, because that was like a really good mechanical kind of grinding sort of energy, which would add texture and grit to this build-up so it didn't sound quite so dry. It is there. All right, so if it is there, make it a bunch louder, because that ending layer was super cool, and I would love to be aware of it in the build-up section. It's like a voice in the track. It's like a character, you know? Cool, good. I'm glad we got to do that now, because we'll have more space on Saturday, and now you have a couple ideas of what to do with this for next time to keep it moving. And now for Jamo and anybody else who's watching, the way to get your tracks reviewed in our Discord server is to join the Track Feedback crew, which you do at Patreon. And this deal was supposed to end on Monday, but I got super busy helping a friend and with the new project I'm working on. So I didn't even update this. You have another day to join for only $15 a month. Usually it's $25 a month. What this will do is get you access into our Discord server where you can post tracks in channels for house, techno, ambient beats, whatever genre you're making. We have genre-specific feedback channels, which means you get comments from people who know what style you're making. They make the same style, and they can help you make yours better. So you can get your tracks done, mixed, mastered, ready for release, put them out on labels. And then here's the best part. We have a new releases channel where you can share your links, and we are all going to be excited to hear it because everybody who gives you a comment has a little bit of energy involved in the track, and we're all going to be happy to hear your tracks get released. It's like the opposite of competitive, like share my track. It's like, hey, give us the link because we want to share your track because we help you make it better. That's what is so exciting about our process. We got people putting stuff out. We got people doing different kinds of labels and things in the group, so you can get some advice from people who are actually publishing music, who can tell you, hey, yeah, your track's ready to go, just give us that 45 seconds longer at the ending because we want more, or, you know, cut the kick drum at the beginning because it came in too soon, or whatever. We're all about helping each other get stuff done and make it sound excellent in the sound design, the mix, the composition, the song structure, and even the mastering. And the way to get in is to click the join button. Don't sit by yourself at your home in your studio wondering if it's good enough. Get it out there, share it with us. We have different speakers, we're in different rooms, we have different ears. We can give you an outside perspective to help your track get done, so you don't have to wonder if it's going to sound right when you drop it into mix set. You're going to know it sounds right when you drop it into mix set. That's what we're here for, that's what it's all about. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Steve. This is the Mix a Texture track feedback session for Wednesday. We'll be back on Saturday. And don't forget about Friday production tips and tricks. We're going to crack open some new little sound design toys and play with them and tell you where you can get them. And that's it. Otherwise, if you have questions, steve@mixatexture.com. Let me put that in the chat. Beep, 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 beep. Alex, great job. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks. And everybody else, we are amazed at how good your mixes and tracks are getting. I really appreciate the time you're putting into each other and your own updates. So we're hearing a new track twice a week, and then they're getting done faster than ever. So keep up the good vibes, y'all. I'll see you on Friday. And that's it for now. All right, peace.